It's the beginning of the year, so I'm on the promenade, the sort of beach walk, and there are a lot of people around. And I bet you, if you come here later on in the year, like there will be considerably less people, and that's because a lot of people sort of fade off. They fade over time in terms of how they kick off their motivation for the beginning of the year. Exercise, eat healthy, gym, all of those things. That's all part of the general people's psyche at the beginning of the year. But those things tend to fade away. But there are a few people that will still be there, will still persist, and they will still carry on with that goal of getting ahead. Now, why do they persist and others don't? I I've had the view for a long time that was very unpopular, and probably still is unpopular, is that you don't achieve your goals um by trying to get the big goal. You know, if you want to like lose 10 kgs, you don't achieve that by trying to lose 10 kgs. You achieve that by trying to do a lot of little things differently or better. So in 2017, we went on vacation, and we're sitting around the pool on the pool lounges. And I noticed that I had the biggest tummy of everyone. Like it was incredible. I never ever saw myself like this. And it was this realization like, wow, my tummy is really big. And my eldest daughter, who sort of made fun of me at the time, you know, I just kind of brushed it off because like, what other reference does she have? But at that moment, sitting at that pool, seeing how huge my tummy was compared to everyone else, like it finally hit. And it never hit at any other time. Like, I don't know why. I didn't see myself that way. And you know, as much as I tried running and trying to get fitter by doing the things that that we somehow psychologically, I'm not sure if you share this view, but running or exercising to me was the way that you lose weight. But I did a bit more reading and I tried to understand this a little bit better. And at that stage, 2018, we had just moved cities. So, and that plan was happening. So there was a lot going on. And I couldn't always exercise. And I thought, well, is there another way that I can achieve this goal? And one of the things that I was thinking about, like, well, I don't really watch my diet, even though for years I had been able to run and exercise, you know, and you, over the festive period, you pick up a little bit of weight. And I quite easily lost that weight with a couple of runs. But that wasn't happening at that period. After that, I was taking a couple of runs, but I was losing no weight. So I looked for other places, like what were the other things I could do to help me lose weight, and without, you know, going into hectic diets, like I just couldn't figure it out. I didn't know if one food was better than another food, or what food was healthy, what food wasn't healthy. And so I just really started eating out of a smaller plate. It was my start. There was no science behind it. I was just like, wow, maybe I'm just eating too much food. And in the beginning, I'll tell you straight, it was hard because I got damn hungry. I got so hungry. And my natural tendency was, well, to eat more. But I just kept eating out of a smaller plate. I didn't watch what I was eating. I simply just ate out of a smaller plate. And after 3 months, an incredible thing happened was I stopped getting hungry. My body had adapted to this new thing. Everything else in my life had stayed the same, but just this one thing of eating out of a smaller plate. I tried then looking at different meal nutritions, like, am I eating the right stuff? Then it became a lot easier to sort of change what was in that plate. But the volume, changing that volume was like key, because I also started to lose a little bit of weight. Well, it wasn't an incredible amount of weight in that short period of time. It was evidence that this is also sustainable. But a key thing that I did before any of that, before thinking about eating out of the smaller plate or exercise or any other change, I had to change what it was in here. And mentally, it was, what do you want your life to be like in 20 years? Because in 20 years or 30 years, maybe you can't run anymore, which actually happened to me. Just a few months later, I busted both my knees and couldn't run for a long time. I still can't run. 6 years later, I still can't run as I did back then. So I had to change my mindset and say, well, if instead of trying to lose weight in 3 months, instead of trying to lose a lot of weight in 1 month, what about trying to create a lifestyle that allows you better eating habits over 3 years, over 6 years, over 10 years, rather than just trying to get the short term 3 month goal, lose weight in 3 months. Because I also noticed that a lot of times people are falling off the wagon of their goal in like that 3 month period. Go to gym 3 months and like stop going to gym because life gets in the way. So I try to, instead of building a goal or reaching the goal, I try to build a lifestyle habit. I share the same philosophy when it comes to business. Don't try to create a revenue goal. I mean, have the revenue goal, but try to create a lifestyle goal that is building blocks towards that goal. So if it's revenue, for sure, have the revenue as a goal, but what are the lifestyle and business lifestyle things that you need to change to get to that goal? It's not going to be just suddenly achieve a revenue goal. You have to have a client list that you're talking to. You have to have offers that are right for your customer fit. You have to have momentum and movement to get you closer to that goal. It's not just going to happen because you set the revenue goal. There's action that needs to follow on from that goal. And that action needs to be sustainable. So if you want to 10x your revenue goal, are you going to 10x your effort? Because in fact, it's not 10x in your effort. You're probably going to have to 100x your effort. You're going to have to do 100 times more if you've got a 10 times more goal. Like it's just we call it the math of the universe. You 10x in your goal, it's going to be 100 times the effort that you're going to need to put in. So if you think about that, like, is it sustainable? Like, and for the first period of you trying to get your goal, you're not going to get to that goal at all, especially depending how different those lifestyle, those business changes are. So I have, I believe in this. I've seen it happen time and time again. I've done this with my team running a consulting company where I built it up to 30 consultants, servicing high value clients. Sitting at the end of the year with them, doing a year in review, looking at their progress for the year, I was able to, instead of pick out like a goal, like I want to learn SQL or I want to learn this technology, I said, well, what did you do before you actually learned that thing, right? You had to open a book, like, well done. We clapped hands. Like, or you had to look at like articles, you had to go through a thing. So you had to start the very building blocks, and we really applauded those kind of efforts. And most professionals I talk to today, they don't know how to applaud the small steps. They think that it's mediocre. And the small steps is what get us ahead. If you think about running is a series of small steps at a pace that suddenly gets faster over time. The better you get at running, the more fitter you get, or at least the fitter you get, the quicker your pace becomes, because that series of steps, one foot in front of the other. And it's the same in business and in life. It's a series of one thing after the next thing, right? You're just doing one thing and then you try to do another thing, or you try to do that one thing consistently for a long period of time. And that's the year in review. That's what I try to help people understand. So you can get out of the funk of thinking that like you didn't achieve anything. Please stop thinking you didn't achieve anything. There is no way you cannot achieve something. You are always achieving something. Sometimes it's in the reverse of where you want to go, but then look at that and go, wow, do I want to continue in that behavior? What are the small things I can do to change that? I am currently, back talking about health again. I'm back in the weight loss game, and I'm realizing that I'm eating a lot of chips and chocolates, and so I need to reduce the urge to eat chips and chocolates. And it's a simple practice. Is look at the chocolate, Accept that you want the chocolate, because that's a first step. Like, you have to have acceptance, and then say, not now. Like, I know it might sound simple, but that's all you have to do. That is the willpower, is you look at it, acknowledge that you want it, and simply say, not now. With a business goal, if you need to draw up a client list, you're kind of doing the same thing, but in reverse. I need to build up a potential list of clients that I can go talk to. What most of us do is go, not now. Oh, I've got this other things to do, so I'm not going to do the thing right now. And if you just reverse that, say, I've got this thing to do, I'm not going to do those other things. It's just not now. It's just to say, not now. That's all you have to do. Get this one simple thing. So if you want to come learn about the things I do in the year in review and how I'm able to take these small things and really help towards building a bigger goal, like on Jan 18th, it's the last time I'm running it. I did this in December. People have asked me to please rerun it. They didn't have time. So if you're amongst those people that want to come and join me, that didn't have an opportunity in December, or if this is the first time you're hearing about it, come and join me in the year in review. It's an absolute gold mine in terms of goal achievement, understanding the things that you've really done. If you don't have anyone in your network that you are currently sitting down with and sharing goals and how you're getting there and motivation to get those things, join me in the year in review. The year in review is also an opportunity for you to get exposure to my accountability groups. So these are small groups of 2 to 4 people that work together, that motivate each other to get to their goals for the year. Whether that be business goals, whether that be corporate goals, maybe family goals, or personal career goals. It's an accountability group of people that are trying to get better at just a few small things. But that's what I want to help you with, is to be able to achieve your goals through support, the right messaging, the right frame of mind for you to help you get to your goals. These are your goals. This is your life. And these are the dreams that you want to achieve. All right. My name's Richard. I hope you've enjoyed this message. Please come and join me Jan 18th, 10 a.m. for the year in review.